Sinn Féin TDs will be voting against this budget. It's obscene that the government, in order to fund the dig-out from the IMF and the EU, is going to visit savage cuts upon the most vulnerable people here, that to pay back their cronies in the banking institutions and those who created this mess, that the ordinary people, particularly low and middle income families, are going to have to pick up what appear to be really, really heavy debts. We also want to make it very, very clear, when we put forward a proposition that you come out of recession by stimulating the economy, by sustaining it in a balanced and even way, by creating jobs, and when we propose that we take 6.7 billion out of the pension fund to invest in a stimulus package, the government said no. And yet the government is prepared to rob the pension fund to pay the banks. It's just disgraceful. The other parties should vote against it, and our TDs will certainly vote against it.
The budget has launched a further all-out attack on people dependent on social welfare, and the slashing of the minimum wage is now scheduled to follow in March. The result of this cruel budget will be poverty and unemployment and social misery. The cuts to social welfare are savage. There is no other way to describe them. They are absolutely savage, and it is people on social welfare who are going to bear the brunt of this budget. Cutting social welfare should be the last thing that a government does in a time of economic difficulty. Cutting social welfare payments will have a detrimental effect on the economy and society, because those payments are always returned to the economy. They are not salted away in savings or invested overseas. They are spent on rent, mortgages, food, utilities, and all the other essentials that people need in life's daily requirements. Cutting welfare is a false economy, the only tangible result of which is misery for those on the receiving end. If less money is spent, the economy will contract, businesses will struggle, and more jobs will be lost. More people will be reliant on social welfare. Local economies will suffer especially badly, and communities struggling out of poverty and marginalisation will be pushed back. The government has attempted to portray the tax changes in this budget as reforming and progressive. They are nothing of the sort. There is no wealth tax. There is no new higher rate for those with individual incomes of over €100,000 per annum. In Sinn Féin's economic recovery plan, There Is a Better Way, we show that such a new top rate of 48% would raise €410 million, costed by the Department of Finance, well in excess of the €397 million the government is slashing from social welfare for people of working age in this budget. So there were choices. There were choices, and choices were made by Fianna Fáil and the Greens, and you have made the damn worst choices of all. Fianna Fáil! 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 Fianna
I watched our national flag being taken down above this building, and I'm glad that it was done, because what has been done in here is economic treason. Not only are you happy to sell out the economic sovereignty we have to the IMF, but now you're selling out the Irish people. And I think back to a poem that was penned by poet Pearse nearly 100 years ago, a poem, Misha Era. And in that line, he says, "More money, mochlan hain da yela weher." My great shame, my sons who sold out their mother. And that is what's happened, Minister. That is what's happened here. that what's happened here is that you've sold out the ordinary, average people. People who caused no harm in this government, who has done nothing wrong in this state, but tried to get on in life. Tried to build the public services that we want to be proud of, have tried to go to school and to third-level education so that they can be the entrepreneurs of the future. People who, under no fault of their own, are dependent on social welfare. But you've decided in this budget to launch an all-out attack on those people, while at the same time protecting the elite in society, protecting people who sit in this chamber's own backside. I didn't hear one utterance from the Minister for Finance, and I read through the documents that are here. Not one penny from a gross TD salary is going to be reduced. How do you think that the people listening to this at home or listening to it on the radios or they're travelling home from work can understand that a TD on over €92,000 per year shouldn't take a pay cut, but somebody on social welfare, somebody who's out working that has a disabled child or is in disability benefit needs to take a 4% reduction? Is that fair, Taoiseach? And that is the questions that people are asking. Ministers are talking about taking token wage cuts, €10,000, which in reality, and Mary, you're in a lot more than that there, so you should keep your mouth closed for just a couple of seconds. But in reality, that is pittance. And what should be actually taken by ministers?
The Deputy is new to the House, but members who are office holders are addressed by their office in this House.
Okay. Minister Mary Caolain should keep her mouth closed when I'm speaking, because she's in a lot more than the €92,000 that the TD gets. And the token gesture that's been taken by ministers in this budget does not go anywhere near far enough. You are cutting the livelihoods of people that are trying to get on in this state. What have they done? What have the people in the public sector workers, what have they done to you that you're going to sack 9,500 people of them? 4,150 from health, 1,023 guards are going to lose their jobs by the end of next year, and 1,063 teachers and frontline people working in the education system. A total of 9,500 public sector workers to be made redundant under your plans. What did the farmers do in this government when you're going to reduce the rep payments by 36 million? What did the students do to you? What do the students do to you that want to get educated in third level, and you're going to increase the student fee up to €2,000, introduce a new fee for those in PLC courses of €200, and those in primary school? God forbid, what do the primary school students do to you? You're introducing a new transport charge of €50 and increasing the charge for those at secondary level up to €350. And why are we doing all of this? Why is this the government introducing the budget that they've announced today? They're doing it to prop up a failed banking strategy, to prop up a failed banking policy. The policy behind this budget is not only morally wrong, it is economic sabotage. And what is absolutely disgusting about all of this is that when the whole country is demanding political reform, when people are shouting out for serious political reform, this government is relying on the votes of two gone-bean politicians who want their own wee pet projects in their own constituencies. And you're willing to sell this budget, you're willing to sell the Irish people down the tubes for a casino in Tipperary and a nursing home in Kerry. And shame on you. Shame on you.
I should advise the Deputy.
It's reality.
Please, Deputy.
And I didn't.
Deputy, please, allow the Chair to deal with that.
Sorry, Chair.
Just, it isn't appropriate to refer to any member of the House in that fashion.
I understand that I didn't name the gone-bean politicians, so there may be question marks over who they are. But needless to say, the point stands. The fact is, we can't afford this type of politics anymore. We can't simply afford